It's baseball time in the Southeastern Conference. It's tournament time. We're going to break it down. We're also going to talk about football. We're going to talk about basketball. We're going to talk about all things SEC sports. I am Bradley, here with Jared, and this is the Third Saturday in October podcast. Find us online at thirdsaturdayiNoctober.com, on social media at TSIO pod. And give us a follow there. You can support the show by being a fan of SEC sports, as all of us are. All the people we care about are. You can also support us by finding us on Venmo at TSIO Pod and dropping $1 or $2 for a water to keep our whistles wetted, as we spout off statistics and opinions.
Summertime is upon us.
Yes.
School's almost out.
Oh man, I don't remember it getting above 90 this early, but it did yesterday and today.
Well, it's the opposite of cool here in South Florida. So
yeah. And you can also go to buymeacoffee.com/TSIO pod. I'm not a coffee drinker. It's too hot for that anyways, but
that doesn't stop people. It could be blazing hot and they're going, I need a coffee.
Well, I know my dad would say he'd drink a cup of coffee to stop sweating. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's like eating soup in the summer. Some people just they're down for it, and hey, bless them.
Yeah, it's you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day, and you're not supposed to eat soup after Memorial Day. I'm making that rule.
I'm breaking every one of the fashion rules I always have, and so I can have some mercy on those who drink coffee in the summer. So.
Oh, well, Jared, how are you?
I'm good, man. It is May, as we mentioned. Summer's almost upon us, and my daughter is studying for finals. And I got to say, I've stumbled upon a couple of interesting shows that I thought were kind of fun. And so I've enjoyed watching a couple shows, binge watching some shows recently with the wife. And so outside of that, just ready for summer.
All right. Summer is here. I'm not a good golfer.
I'm not even a miniature. Yeah.
My dad bought me clubs several years ago because he's now a retired architect, although.
Which means he plays golf.
Well, no. He air quotes around retired because the man doesn't know how to stop. And a few years ago, I mean, this is probably 8 years ago, he bought me clubs. Why? Because he was designing a workout room for a golf club, like a nice golf club in town. And he said, hey, I'll reduce my fee if you let me play golf. Let's barter a little bit. So especially in the off season, we would go on Sunday afternoons, when it's 50 degrees outside, and go play golf. He's much better than I am, and I mean, I don't know that he'd say he's any good either, but the goal was go home with find more golf balls than we lost, basically.
Oh, that's a good goal.
So now I've been invited to a work trip next month, and they said you can pick golf, fishing, or skeet shooting. It's like, you don't want me shooting anything. Somebody will get hurt. If I golf, somebody's liable to rupture their spleen laughing. I'll go fishing.
You chose wisely, actually.
So I was like, okay, I got out of golf. Well,
there are gators in the water in Florida, by the way.
yeah. I'm not going after anything.
Yeah. Be careful what you catch, I guess.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna fish. Nobody wants to see me golf. And then my boss says, hey, I've got golf lined up for us on Monday afternoon. Bring your clubs. I'm like, oh, all right.
Like, could have swore I picked fishing.
Yeah, so I've been spending about 15, 20 minutes a day just
Okay.
swinging.
All right.
I went and raided Dad's golf closet. It's called an Orange Whip.
Hmm.
It's
I think my mom used one of those on me when I was a kid.
yeah, yeah. I had one. I had one of those as a kid. It was not fun. It was not pleasant. No, it's
Yeah.
real flexible, and so it's. I mean, it whips back and forth a little bit, but it's got this orange, what looks like about a lacrosse ball, on the end. So I guess it's kind of like when you're swinging a baseball bat with the donut on it. I think it's kind of like that. But Dad said, just grab that and swing it 15, 20 minutes a day and you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. Also, I've got right-handed clubs, but I'm left-handed. Like in baseball, I hit left-handed, throw left-handed, but golf and guitar, those are the two things I do right-handed.
So some could say you're ambidextrous.
I am a little amphibious. I
Okay.
it's in the words of Hannah Montana, it's the best of both worlds.
That's how you found all those golf balls and amphibious. All
Yeah.
right.
I've been known to kick my shoes off, roll up my pants, and
Wade in the water.
yeah. But anyways, I mean this has gotten so far off
Yeah. Thank
topic.
you, by the way. I appreciate this.
Hey, the ADHD has kicked into high gear tonight.
This is why you should drink coffee, actually. Huh.
I know. Some people love the smell, love the taste. I can't.
Well, I hope your kids don't be like my daughter in the sense that after school they're going to start being like, "Let's go to Starbucks," because that's like a thing for me now.
Oh,
My daughter's like, "Can we go to Starbucks?" And it happens.
I definitely think it's more of a girl thing.
Well,
But
there's all these sassy drinks, these.
but yeah, yeah, because the girls go for the drinks, the guys go for the girls. Um,
What is Starbucks like a place to meet girls? Maybe it is. I never really thought of it that way.
I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
you and I are way removed from that scene, so
yeah,
that's more of a hypothetical question or a question for the audience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, send your answer to podcast at thirdsaturdayiNoctober.com.
Yeah, we don't care at TSIO. Yeah.
But before we get into baseball tournament stuff, Jared, I know Auburn got some good news in the commitment arena. Tell me a little bit about what's happening down on the plains.
All right, so today was a big day for Auburn. Auburn has had some success in recruiting, obviously, with some really awesome players like wide receivers and running backs and things like that. But Auburn has always struggled when it comes to linemen, offensive linemen, and specifically tackle. Like we've just never, typically never been able to recruit kind of what would be considered an elite offensive tackle. We've had some prospects, and they go to Georgia, they go to Alabama, maybe they go to Tennessee. Hopefully, they go to Tennessee, right? But they don't typically pick Auburn. And today was different. Today was a gentleman named Leighton Von Brandt, who basically was previously committed to Penn State until the former coach was released last school year, and we know he's gone on to Virginia Tech. This particular player, I guess, didn't want to go to Virginia Tech, but he was highly sought after, and it came down to, I mean, everybody wanted this guy, and the top four, I think his top four was Florida, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Auburn. And I'll be honest, when I saw that even Auburn was in the top four, I kind of laughed. I was like, we're not getting this kid. He's a 4-star. He's like in the top 5, I think, in offensive tackles, depending on 247 or wherever you look. Like this is a really good prized offensive tackle that Auburn most likely would never get. And today he made his commitment, and he committed to Auburn, and it was just shocking to me.
Yeah.
There were rumors last night starting to turn, and people were kind of getting their hopes up. But we've done this before. We've gotten our hopes up and then just been crushed when they chose somebody else. And there's one thing with commitment and then actually signing and then actually showing up to the school and then actually getting on the team. Because this day, even if you sign, even if you commit, you can hop in the portal apparently, like, as soon as you sign. So, I mean, until this kid's on campus and like on the squad, like I'm going to kind of hold my breath. But
Hey, even
six
then,
six, 290 pounds. He's from Middleton, Delaware, which is definitely not a recruiting hotbed for Auburn. But he picked Auburn over Notre Dame, Florida, and Penn State, and so it's just a huge win for Alex Golish and the coaches there. I mean, I'm sure we threw a bag at this kid. I'm not kidding myself, but yeah, I'm really excited that all of a sudden there's this like glimmer of hope. It's like, whoa, maybe we can, you know, set a whole new standard. You know,
well, and,
yeah,
and
that just really excites me. So.
yeah, and I read something from Alex Golish actually talking about Tennessee, but Auburn fans should be excited about this too because one of the things with Hugh Freeze I know was he didn't want to adapt. He had what he liked, what he had had success with, and he wanted to just do that until it didn't work. And guess what? It didn't work.
Yeah, and yeah, Hugh Freeze kept saying to the very end, "Man, we are so close," and all the fans just couldn't hear that anymore. We were just like, "We're not close." This is
Yeah,
3 seasons of 5 wins.
yeah, you're close to getting the boot,
Yeah,
and
we can't keep living like this. This is not Auburn football. This is we're not. We continuously get beat every year by Georgia and Alabama. It's just
yeah.
no more.
Well,
Anything but Hugh Freeze, and I like Hugh Freeze. I want Hugh Freeze to do well, but it just Alex Golish he's winning the offseason. I know that's worthless, but right now he's doing everything right, and people are eating it up. So,
well, he's not afraid to switch things up because
mhm.
when Heupel and Golish got to Tennessee, Golish was saying the first thing that Heupel told him was, "We can't do the same thing we did at UCF. We have to change. We have to adapt."
Yeah,
And Golish was kind of like, "What are you talking about?" And Heupel said, "We'll no longer have the best players in our league. We'll no longer be able to just, outman people. Everybody's faster, everybody's stronger, everybody's bigger. We're going to have to adapt." And that's what Heupel and Golish did. Is they took what was working for them at UCF and they adapted it for the SEC. But then Golish also said, "But what they're running now is so different from what we were running when I was there." And this was all like Tennessee beat writers, so they're asking questions of him about Tennessee and what he'd seen as he's scouting the SEC. And so it's like, hey, Tennessee fans, Heupel knows what he's doing because he's going to adjust. But also, Golish has seen that and seen how you have to adjust as you move to the SEC. So I feel pretty confident that Golish is going to come in there and he's going to do his thing. I don't know if he calls plays or not, but he's got influence as the head coach, and he is not afraid to adjust and try something different when what starts out in the beginning working suddenly stops working. And I think he was a good recruiter at Tennessee, a dang good recruiter. So I'm not surprised that
Oh yeah,
Auburn's having some luck here pretty quick.
yeah. Well, the coaching staff he brought into Auburn is excellent, and I'm really again getting this tackle is kind of I mean, you have to really appreciate how big of a deal this is for Auburn because we just never, ever, ever get a 4-star offensive tackle out of high school. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen. Um, Alabama jokes on us, and the joke's kind of funny, and it's been kind of true. We're like, they call us 3-star U, and it's kind of true. A
Yeah.
lot of our recruits are, high 3-stars, which you can win with high 3-stars, but
Look at Indiana.
yeah, yeah. But man, it's nice to get a high 4-star offensive tackle. That's for sure. And Auburn basketball actually finished their roster too. We picked up a Lithuanian wing player. This guy's 6'6". His name is Mantis. Let's see his last name. His last name's kind of hard to pronounce. I'm going to say Lupstavicius. I'm probably not saying that right, but this kid is he's not a kid. He's basically just turned 24, so I think he's just on the edge of eligibility. But watching this film, and he's like, "Holy cow! If this guy can even play a lick of defense, like this is the missing piece." Like
Yeah.
we got some really good pickups from the portal, and then to sign this kid as the last piece. I think he had to finish his season in Lithuania before he could officially sign. And so now he's officially signed, and it's all legit, from my understanding. So that was really good news, too, for Steve Pearl, because, we needed one more guy. And we had, pretty much the roster set, with the exception of we needed a really good wing player. And there was one or two we were looking at. And then there was rumors of this kid in Lithuania, but it was just kind of like, a lot of what ifs because of the age and stuff, and we're sure if he would be eligible with a new, play 5 years rule, if that even ends up being the case. But that said, he's now with Auburn, and Mantis, like praying mantis. That's kind of the way I remember his name. But yeah, he's probably going to create some havoc, and probably, if I had to guess, he's probably 12 points a game kind of guy. He's going to come in and be real solid and deliver. He's only going to be a 1-year guy, but I think he's going to really help the team a lot. So I'm feeling really happy for Steve Pearl. So yeah, really good news for Auburn fans. And Auburn baseball is going to the SEC tournament. I don't like this 1-game tournament stuff. But it is what it is. So even if we don't do well in the SEC tournament, it's not going to dictate my support for this baseball team going into the NCAA tournament and the regionals. So yeah, even if we don't do great, it's not going to deter me. I'm not going to worry about whether or not we do great in the SEC. Because traditionally we don't do great in the SEC tournament, but we have been to the baseball World Series like twice. So yeah, I feel like we can essentially be in that conversation this year for sure. So
we'll talk about the bracket and how it shook out for seeding and all that in just a minute.
Including your Vols who play tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to watch. So.
Before we dive into baseball, basketball, I was having this conversation. I think we've had it here before too. At the end of Tennessee season, guys start announcing their intent to transfer. I was like, dang, come on. Because you had Jalen Carey, who transferred from Vanderbilt last year.
Who got a lot of minutes with Tennessee.
Got a lot of minutes.
Good player.
A lot of love. I mean, I don't know. He's going to Missouri.
Yeah, I told you I have connection to that kid through my daughter's school. He played there, and so I watched him play in high school, and I'm not pleased that he ditched Tennessee for Missouri. I don't feel it was the right call, but I'm not him. I'm not his family. I don't know the ins and outs of whatever negotiations he had with Missouri, but it seems like staying at Tennessee would have been the right move. I don't know what's going on there. But, but he did play some meaningful minutes for you guys. Had some good games, and
he had some really good games.
I think this next year, if he'd stayed at Tennessee, that could have been a banner year for him. So
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
shame to see that go to Missouri.
si-
So,
yeah, seeing him go to Missouri, it's like, oh. Um,
mhm.
we
Yeah,
had,
we lost really good players like that too,
yeah.
and
Well, and
brutal.
it's there's a lot of doom and gloom before you build back up because you don't know who's coming in because the portal hadn't opened yet.
Yeah,
But you know who's going out because you can announce your intent. Bishop Boswell, a starter, going to Maryland.
yeah, I can't figure that one out either.
Um,
That's I guess Maryland threw him some money. I don't know, man. Like,
yeah,
why would you want to play in Maryland over Tennessee?
I
Like,
I don't know. I mean,
that makes no sense to
you
me.
just had a guy transfer in from Maryland to play at Tennessee. I don't know.
That I think makes more sense.
Yeah, JP
Yeah, you don't see
Estrella.
it go the other way very often.
Yeah, JP Estrella, who um, reigning champion Michigan. Now,
I
I
guess
think
if you're going to leave Tennessee going to the reigning national champs,
yeah, it's like
probably make the most sense. But yeah, still a burn. Like, come on, man.
yeah. Cade Phillips, who has been hurt the last couple years as a power forward. I mean, we're losing three power forwards to the poor Samba, who didn't get much. I don't know if he played this year, but he's going to UC Davis. So is a center from VCU. Miles Rubin, power forward from Loyola. I think it's Day Ames, point guard from Cal. Terrence Hill Jr., a point guard from VCU. Juke Harris, forward from Wake Forest. That doesn't suck. Jalen Harrelson from Notre Dame, and from several others just out of eligibility. Shortly before this, listening to
Paper.
we're not, we're not going to make it out of the Sweet 16 at best.
No. You guys made the Elite Eight, the last 2 years. That it's very realistic. You guys could be in the Final Four for sure. So.
The thing that worries me is there's not the strong carryover from year to year. This is something that
Well, I mean, you're seeing. I mean, Duke has figured that out. Other schools have figured that out. Like,
yeah.
Tennessee will be no different. I think.
Calipari is the master of one and dones.
That Arkansas crew, it's looking different too.
Yeah.
Year to year.
So I don't know. I'm just hey, I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm just gonna wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm gonna get excited about Tennessee basketball. I don't know how to feel about Tennessee football, and here's why. At the conclusion of spring practice, and as we head into the summer, there have been rumors that what we thought was a not necessarily a done deal, but we felt like, okay, George McIntyre is probably going to be starting quarterback for Tennessee. It sounds like he had a bad spring. It sounds like Faison Brandon, the blue chip quarterback recruit, true freshman, is looking like the best option. Now, somebody said, also remember, Joe Milton looked stellar in practice and won the starting job, but then put him in games and he couldn't do it. So he gets injured. In comes Hendon Hooker, and Hendon Hooker never looked back. Hendon Hooker made bad decision after bad decision in practice, but then come game time, he stepped it up. And And there's just some people who do that. I know in baseball we talked about if you're the starting pitcher, like you're warming up, you're throwing in the bullpen, and if you have an awful bullpen session, you can't hit your spots. You're just all over the place. You don't have balls aren't breaking like they should. You go and you end up throwing a great game. Whereas if you have a great bullpen session, it's like, oh dang, I just used up all my good stuff. And you get to the game and then just get rocked. Some people are good in practice. Some people are good in games. There's some people who are good at both, but we'll have to see what happens come fall, come early September when Tennessee finally takes the field. I still think that Heupel's doing a fantastic job for all the things that he's been dealt. I don't know why I was thinking about it the other day. Michigan cheated and helped South Carolina in that game. Yeah,
yeah.
But that is that's just kind of a recap on Tennessee football as well. Baseball, Tennessee ended the season with winning the first two games of the series and taking the series at Oklahoma. I was talking about this last week, that on paper they're kind of neck and neck. They're right there next to each other in the standings. I think there was only a game. I think Oklahoma was only a game behind Tennessee. But very, very surprised at how fired up Tennessee came out in that series. Very thankful too. You'd rather in the season winning a series than losing a series, though they did lose game 3. Part of that was game 2 went into a weather delay in the 7th, I believe, bottom of the 7th. So they had to finish game 2 on Saturday, and then once that was finished, begin game 3. It always gets screwy when you have those weather delays. It's no fun. But anyways, here it is time for the SEC tournament starting later today. This morning. What is today? Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday, May 19th. You got Ole Miss playing Missouri first thing in the morning at 9:30. As soon as that game's done, Vanderbilt is taking on Kentucky. This is so weird to see Vanderbilt playing so early. I'm guessing that's going to be around 1 o'clock. And these are Central time zones, or Central time, since it's being played in Hoover, Alabama. So I'm guessing that first pitch for Vanderbilt, Kentucky is going to be around 1 o'clock. Then Tennessee takes on South Carolina at 4:30, and Oklahoma takes on LSU, I would guess, around 7:30 or so. LSU's just had an awful year. I don't know what's happened, but they're usually really strong. They're the 14 seed. Vanderbilt's a 12 seed. Surprising. Although neither one of those teams, I'd be surprised if they just went on a tear, because their coaching staffs are just fantastic. So then Mississippi State is going to play the winner of Ole Miss and Missouri. And then winner of that game will go on to play Georgia, who gets the double bye as the number 1 seed. Vanderbilt and Kentucky, that winner plays Florida. Florida's dangerous. That winner goes on to play 4 seed Alabama. That's a really tough bracket. Tennessee, South Carolina, winner plays Arkansas. Ooh, Arkansas is one of those teams who's just always going to be a tough out. Winner of that goes to play Texas, the 2 seed. And then Oklahoma, LSU, that winner goes to play Auburn, which I mean, I feel good about Auburn's chances there. And then winner there goes to play Texas A&M. That takes you through the quarterfinals. So
We recently beat A&M in a series, so
yeah,
I'm not overly nervous about A&M, to be honest. But you don't count your chickens either. These are just one game and you're
I,
done.
I
So
know there's a bunch of games. So
any team in the SEC can win one game.
yeah,
So yeah,
if if a first round team makes it all the way to the end, they play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I guess I
that's
guess
for
half the games Thursday, or two games on Thursday, two games on Friday. It's where they kind of split it up. Then you play Saturday, Sunday. So if you're lucky, you get a day off. But it's
you really don't get much time before regionals. That's for sure.
no,
But
it
that's the gauntlet.
yeah.
You win the SEC. I mean, when you played that many games in that tournament, my goodness.
Um, yeah, it's always a balance, and we talked about this in basketball too. You want to end the season on a streak. You want to win a few games, but you also don't want to wear out your players. And this is where your bullpen comes into play because there's no room for error. It's lose and go home. Now you can still go to regionals, but
Okay, so you put in that relief pitcher in game one. You know, you might not be able to use that same guy the next day.
no, you're not using it the next day. Maybe so.
So you really got to be judicious on what you're going to do.
Yeah, it kind of depends on how much he pitches. So if he pitches on Tuesday, for an out, couple outs, whatever, you're not using him Wednesday. Maybe Thursday if you're in a jam, but more likely, excuse me, you're sitting on him for a couple days. It's tough, and if you use up a bullpen one day, now you're thinner game the next day, and this is where you want your starting pitching going 5, 6, 7 innings, because if you can get 6 innings out of your starting pitcher and then use 2 guys to get the last 9 outs, or even just one guy to get those last 9 outs, you've saved a lot of arms. Because there's also some fatigue just if you get up and warm up. If you get up and warm up and you don't actually go in the game, I don't know how they count those pitches, but you're still putting stress on your arm, and the adrenaline's not pumping as hard as once you get in that game, but it does put some wear on the joints. So this is why baseball is very much a chess match. Is a complicated game because you are trying to balance the endurance of these players as much as their talent. So it should be a really fun tournament. Like I said, I like Auburn's chances taking on winner of Oklahoma LSU. If they win that, then they go play Texas A&M. That's not bad. Now, after that, you're probably playing the winner of, I would guess, Texas and Arkansas, maybe Tennessee.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure.
Tennessee did win the series against Texas in Knoxville. So we'll see. Coach Elander, I think he's done a pretty good job this year. He's a rookie head coach, but and say what you want about scheduling and how good the teams are you're scheduling, but it's the first time in the 2000s that Tennessee has gone, I believe it's 14-0 in midweek games. That's pretty impressive. I believe that does not include. Well, I guess all the early season tournaments were on the weekends. But going 14-0 is really, really tough, and Elander did it with his squad. So even the national championship team in 2024 did not get through all their midweek games unscathed. So congratulations, Vols. That's big. And a lot of postseason accolades for Tegan Coons and several others. I still think Tennessee's got some good talent on the roster. A lot of it's young. But they've also done some growing up this season, and I'm excited to see what happens when there's no more breaks. If Tennessee wants to keep playing in the SEC tournament, they're going to have to play every day but Friday. Every day but Thursday. So let's see what you got. Let's see what you got in the tank. Go Vols.
Hey man, stranger things have happened. I'm actually looking forward to watching some Tennessee baseball tomorrow. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be getting started on my drive home. I'll have to turn on the radio. Update my son's baseball team. The Pirates did lose their second game in the tournament. So let's see. We lost our first game, won our second game. Our third game we won by forfeit. That's very nice. Our fourth game was delayed a long time because the game before us was going into extra innings, and they had a stoppage of play while it sounded like several players, not several players, several coaches and parents got thrown out. It baffles me. I'm also happy to have lost to a team that couldn't be just better people. I was talking to the head coach ahead of time. I was like, honestly, I don't mind if we lose. I'm tired. And it's been a great season. The kids have all had a great time. And he's like, same. And we'll just see how it goes. And ended up losing in extra innings, 16-15. So the boys had a blast. They really did have a great time. I had a good time coaching. I hate pitching. I hated it in high school. My son said, "Dad, you can't say hate." I said, "I'm sorry." But I really don't like it because, one, you have to have a certain mentality. I'm just going to go up there and I'm going to beat you when you're competitively pitching. When you're pitching in order for your kids to get hits, it's different. But my thing was I was always too much in my head. I'm thinking, okay, I need to hit this spot, and I'm thinking too much, and I'm wild. I'm all over the place. Whereas when I played outfield, you're just kind of like, okay, there's a run on first, so I'm going to be thrown to third if it's hit to me. And you're just waiting. As soon as it's hit, it's like, oh crap. And you're going after the ball, trying to make sure you catch it cleanly, and then you're just letting it go. And those throws were always on the money for me, but I'm not thinking about it. I knew, okay, I'm throwing to third, just let her rip. So all that to say, I did hit my own child on Saturday, right in the ankle. I think it bounced first, but he got hit in the ankle. There were tears. I think there were tears because his dad hit him, and he didn't want to finish the at bat. But props to him for getting out there and playing after that. So,
and props to you for admitting that you hit your kid and coach pitch. So,
I hit him several times, and then one of the dads was like, "Hey, I was throwing BP and I was hitting a lot of bats." I was like, "Please take it," because I also don't like I don't feel. I mean, I probably feel too guilty. I guess I should ask, hey, does anybody else want to pitch. I can, but I'm not going to be good at it. But we had a great group of boys, 12 boys. They did awesome. They had a blast. Every time we have our post game meeting, I said, "Who had fun?" And everybody yelled yes, or me. So that made me happy. I'm glad the boys were happy. My son's saying he wants to play fall ball. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, we'll get signed up in the fall. So
It's awesome.
stay tuned, because I'm very worried about missing football games to go coach baseball games. Which,
Well, I think I'm more fearful for his ankles, but yeah.
you better believe he's gonna be like, Dad, I want one of those. I want one of those ankle guards, and I want the oven mitt. I need to teach him how to properly slide, which is head first. Get that uniform all dirty. But
Yep.
it was a blast. He said, Dad, I want you to coach. I asked my younger son, I said, hey, do you want to play baseball next year? He said, yeah, but I don't want you to coach. It's like, what?
What am I, chopped liver? Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what I said.
That's great.
Who knows?
Oh,
But no, it is a great season. So go Pirates. That's what I got to say to that.
go Pirates.
Jared, it is tournament time, Hoover, Alabama. I've got friends who grew up in that area say it's awesome to go to the SEC tournament. One day, someday very soon, I'm going to make it down to Hoover.
I'm going to say this: if Auburn somehow goes to Omaha, I'm going to be very tempted to go.
You should. I've heard that is amazing. Even
Putting that
like,
out there, yeah,
even if you're just going for the first round game,
yeah.
go.
Well, I've
I've heard
always thought it would be cool to do it, and if they make it, I might actually make a move. We'll see.
I hope for your sake that Auburn does make it to Omaha.
They have a team that could potentially do that, so we're gonna find out.
And I love those Navy uniforms. So, hey, TSIO Pod Nation listeners, let's send Jared to Omaha.
Well, let's pray that Auburn gets there.
Well,
how about that?
We just got to be ready. Venmo at TSIO Pod, buymeacoffee.com/TSIO Pod. Let's get him there. No,
I think I would deflect that money to your son's ankle guard.
no, like the martial artists who like just keep breaking wood things with their shins until their shins have repaired themselves and now it's harder than concrete. They can kick through a baseball bat. Yeah.
Did you by chance catch a replay or a retweet of the Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight?
The one that lasted 20 seconds or something like that?
It was like, I'm not saying it was staged, but wow. Like that was, as soon as Gina had a chance to tap, she didn't hesitate. That said, she wasn't an armbar by Ronda Rousey, so fair enough.
Yeah,
But,
apparently somebody really just wants to retire from fighting and go have babies.
Well, they both made millions of dollars off that fight, and I'm just glad I wasn't the sucker who paid thousands of dollars to sit ringside.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, I thought that was funny.
I know to sit ringside for 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, Gina had not even fought in like 17 years or something like that. It was like, okay, anyway, you kind of knew what you were getting, but anyway, you were surprised by that outcome. Yeah. But I watched it. I watched it on Netflix. I was curious. I watched it, and that was probably the best minute of Netflix I've watched. In terms of women's MMA fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give a real quick shout out before we go. I found out today that a beloved place that I used to take my daughter many times growing up. When she was very little, I'd take her to Monster Golf in Coral Springs, Florida. Monster Golf has had a 12-year run. They are closing their doors, sadly. But that is a place that we went to on the regular.
That's awesome.
Anytime I'd be like, Lana, where do you want to go? Monster Golf. When me and her friends, we would pile in the truck, go Monster Golf, and have an afternoon. And I'm telling you, dude, that was the place to go. That's where they went. Lana had a ridiculous amount of tickets from the game she played at that. She could have bought like Christmas for, Children's Hospital or something. I mean,
Wow.
so many tickets. But that place, sadly, is closing. A miniature golf. So we talked about golf at the beginning of the show. It's a little with golf. The miniature golf place in Coral Springs, Florida, that is closing after 12 years. But was a staple of my daughter's childhood, and I had a lot of good memories there too. So I'm sad to see them close the doors, but thankful for things like mini golf that bring families together. So
absolutely,
my parting shout out to Monster Golf in Coral Springs, Florida.
No, my oldest got a really good report card, and it came with a free admission to mini golf. So his last day is Thursday, and
That's
weather permitting, I believe,
way to go out in the school year. Yes.
Weather permitting, I believe Friday he's going to go play some putt, some mini golf. So
it's not a bad way to end the school year.
No, it's not. It sounds like a blast. Unfortunately, I'll be working, so my wife will be taking it, but he'll have a blast nonetheless.
He'll have a great time. Yep.
Hey, you want to be part of the conversation? Podcast at thirdsaturdaynoctober.com. You can find that on thirdsaturdaynoctober.com, our website. On social media, you can find us at TSIO Pod. You can message us there. And as I said earlier, support the show. Share it with a friend or one of our donation avenues, Venmo or buymeacoffee.com. You know where to find those. I am Bradley, saying heroes come in all sizes and roll Vols.
War Eagle, go Pirates, and and Bradley, thank you.
Absolutely, go Pirates.
Tailgate, man cave, living room, pregame, burgers, ribs, chicken wings, chip and dip, pregame, scotch and a lot of